What types of items are selling on eBay, you ask? Well, stay tuned. We're going to talk about what's sold on my store from May 26th through June 3rd. And then stay tuned till the end because we're going to talk about the winner and the loser of the week. Okay, so let's get started. The first item that sold this week was a vintage Everand eyeglass frame, and it has little rhinestones on the corner, and it has that cat's eye look to it. And they're probably from the 1950s, and it's sold for $89.95, and that was my full asking price. These glasses I got from an auction, and they were 60 cents a piece. When you take everything I bought and divide it by what I paid, it was about 60 cents a piece for these glasses. And again, they're selling very well. And I still have some left, and we'll probably hit another one while we're going through this list today. Okay, the next item is this vintage leaf book, and it has hidden storage inside. It opens up. It did have a little bit of wear to it. It looks like somebody had used it fairly well, but it looks handmade. I love trees and leaves, and I do some artwork, and that's usually what I navigate towards is leaves and trees. So I really liked this book, but I decided to sell it, and it sold for $14.95 on a best offer, and I paid about 60 cents for it. This next item is an express pair of jeans, women's size 12. They're capris, crop pants, and now's the time of year when these types of jeans are going to sell. So this one sold for $14.95, and it's on the lower end of the spectrum, but I got it in with a box of clothes, so I thought I might as well just try putting it up. And it did sell, but it took a long time to sell, probably months. So it's not something I would source at all, but I did make some money on it. I paid about $1 for it, maybe. So it was a pretty good sale. Next item is this faux gold and pearl butterfly brooch. It's only about 2 inches, and it sold for $9.95. It was part of a jewelry haul that I got, and it's not something I probably would have sourced, but it came in with a box of stuff, so I thought I might as well just put it in and try selling it. And it didn't take but maybe a week to sell, so it was a good deal. This next one's a Margaritaville men's t-shirt, extra large. It sold once. It got returned almost at the end of the month. I ended up reselling it. I sent out an offer for $13.95 and they accepted it. So I paid about $1 for it. So it wasn't too bad of an investment. This next one's a NASCAR Nextel Cup throw blanket. It sat for a couple months before it sold. It sold for $14.95. I did have to take a best offer on it, and I think they sent me an offer for $10 and I went up. I finally got them back up to at least $14.95, but I only paid $1 for it, so we're still good. This next one is a heart pin cushion. It's a Sam Fink from the 1960s. It's got a silver metal base. It's not silver, but it was in great shape. The velvet on it's in great shape. It's almost like they used it for decor and not really for pin cushion, but it's really pretty. But it was in with a box of stuff that I got in the online auction, and since I had it, I figured I might as well list it, and it was up for $9.95, and I sent a best offer for $8.95, and the lady accepted it, and I only paid approximately 50 cents for it. Yeah, it's not something I would have sourced, but it was in with a bunch of stuff, so why not try to sell it? And it didn't take that long to sell. This next item I bought at an online auction. I bought a case of these, and they were all brand new. I ended up paying a little more than I really wanted to. I really only wanted to pay about $6 max for them, and they had different sets of these, and I decided I really wanted this set, so I paid $8.83 a piece for them. That was after the the auction fees. So I ended up selling this for $39.95, and I still have quite a few listed, and I've sold several of them so far. So this $39.95 is with free shipping. I'm making money on these, and it's a good deal. This next item is these Apple paper books. When you lot books together, they seem to sell fairly well. There was no rhyme or reason to these, but they were all Apple books. I try to keep some kind of theme going when I lot books together. So they're from the 1990s, young adult reading. They sold for $11.88. I did have them up for $16.97. Yes, they sold for $11.88. And I didn't pay anything for them because I went to a book fair, and at the end of the book fair on the last day, they give away their books for free. So you have like 2 hours to go in and just pick as many books up as you can. I look for specific things. I look for Bibles, I look for college books, which usually aren't there by then. So then I go to the kids section and lot books together. There's some other series books that I will see if I can get a whole series put together, and I will do them, which I've had luck doing that before. So that's one thing you might want to look out for. This next item is Levi's jeans. These are a large size. They're loose fit and they're a size 46. The bigger the jeans, the better a lot of times. So I thought they would sell better, but it did take a while for them to sell. And I had them at $19.95 and I had them on sale for $15.96. And I originally paid $2 for them. So I'm probably going to slow up on Levi's because it seems like they're taking longer to sell nowadays. I still came out pretty good on this deal. Okay, so the next item is a vintage Hawaiian shirt. It's by Dorset and it's an extra, extra large. And I bought this and I hesitated on buying it, but I ended up getting it for $3. So it wasn't too bad of a price. I think it was half price at Savers. So I sold it for, no, I sold it for $17 on Poshmark, which I raised my prices on Poshmark because the fees are twice as much than eBay. So I need to get more out of it just to help pay for the fees. So I did end up selling it for 17. So I'm pretty happy with that. The next item that I sold, this also sold on Poshmark. It's a Lucky Brand men's jeans at 361. They're called the Vintage brand. And it was a size 36. And I had it listed for $24.95 on eBay, but I ended up taking an offer on Poshmark for $22, and I paid $5 for these. Lucky Brand is slowing up. When I first started over a year ago, it seemed like they were selling with no problem. So when I picked these up in the summertime and listed them, it ended up sitting for the longest time. So again, it's a bread and butter item, but it's not something I would seek. So that's just my opinion on Lucky Brand. Other people may say differently. Oakley is another one as well. This one sold on Mercari for $23. On eBay, I had it listed for 25, and I had it about the same on Mercari, and we negotiated a price, and I ended up selling it for 23. And I only paid 50 cents at a yard sale for it. It did have a spot on it, which I scrubbed and got out. It's not something I would ever pass up, but it's still questionable whether I'll buy them again because even though I only paid 50 cents for it at a yard sale, it still sat for the longest time. So that's probably something I might have to think twice about when I'm out and about. All right, this next item is a vintage cameo creation. It's Mrs. Chaplin by George Romney. It's an Edwardian lady, convex glass in it. It's a little wall hanging that is 5.75 inches. It sold for $12 on Poshmark. I had it a lot higher. Again, their fees are 20%, and on eBay, it's about 13 when you compare eBay and PayPal's fees. I only paid $1 for it, but it did have some damage. It needs to be repainted. Let me show you a different picture. You can kind of see it here on the edge. It really needed to be repainted, but I'm happy with $12. But my choice is to go out and find items that can sell for over $20 and make at least $10, $15 profit on them. So this is not something I probably will purchase in the future if I can control myself. Next item is another Betco soap dispenser. I think I sold 2 of them on this one. Yes, $79.90 is what they paid for 2 of them, and that includes the free shipping. So my cost was $17.66 on this. So I've been making good money on these. I'm pretty happy with that purchase. This next one is a Tommy Hilfiger women's jean shorts, size 6. They're pretty small. So it seemed like they should have sold faster, but I've had these up since last year, maybe September. And it wasn't the right time of year to have them up, but you can sell any clothes any time of year. What about people going on vacation? They might be looking for shorts when they're going to Florida in December. They might be going to California or even Mexico. Who knows? They might need some shorts. So don't rule out putting them up that early. These shorts sold for, yes, they sold for $13.56, and I got these in with a lot of clothes that somebody gave me, so I paid 0 for them. This next item is an antique Pincenez eyeglasses. They're from 1886. They're pretty cool. This Pincenez means pinched nose. So that's how they stayed on your face. And this hook would hook into either your hair or on your clothes. They sold for $44.95. I paid 60 cents for them, and that was on a best offer. This next item is a Superman Halloween costume. Now I've had these up from like August or September of last year, and they did not sell for the Halloween season. And I had them at $14.95, and I ended up lowering them to $13.49, and somebody purchased them this year. And look, we're in May, or June right now, so it doesn't matter what time of year, you can sell costumes anytime. So again, I paid $1.50 for these at a rummage sale, but it took half a year to sell. So don't rule out Halloween costumes. This next one is an urn, and it is something I had purchased in the very beginning, and it's a fairly big size. It's not something I will ever purchase again. I've had it up for about $50, went down on it to like 40. Then I ended up at $29.95. I paid $7 for it. So I still made money. The shipping was a lot. Since I put it in a bigger box because I wanted to protect it better, it ended up costing like $35 to ship it. So I shipped it FedEx instead of priority because the shipping time is about the same. But they paid for priority, but I shipped it FedEx hoping they'd get it in about the same time. And it cost me about $18, I think, through FedEx. So you got to be careful with this. When you have something bigger, you're better off packing it and boxing it to know the exact weight and the exact size that you're comfortable with sending it before you finish your listing. That's just my suggestion on these big things, and I probably won't buy a big urn again. This next item is a cast iron mini stove. You could use it in a dollhouse. I think it might be a salesman sample. It's possible. It's a Bonnie Glow cast iron one. This one sold for $16.95, my full asking price, and I paid 60 cents for it. That was a pretty good purchase. This next one's a Ken doll from the 1960s. This I bought in a Rubbermaid full of Barbie stuff for $35, and I've been selling it off piece by piece, and I've been making good money on this $35 investment. As you can see, this one ended up selling for $17.49 on a best offer, and I paid approximately 50 cents for it. These older Barbies are still selling. They may not be the old Barbies, but the vintage ones are still selling. There's a lot of Barbie collectors still out there, so don't rule out Barbies. This last item is a Holy Bible, Roots of Faith edition from 1963. I sell a lot of Bibles in that range in the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s time frame. And there are various editions, various versions. So that's another item to keep a lookout for. And this was one that I got at the book fair on that last day when everything was free. So I didn't pay anything for it and sold, but it didn't sell for a whole lot compared to my other Bibles. It only sold for $9.95. So that is it for the sales this week. There was 23 items that sold and a total of $560.63, but shipping was added on to that. So my net profit is going to be altered by the shipping. Let's check out the winner and the loser of the week. The winner is this pair of eyeglasses that sold for $89.95, the cat's eye ones, and the profit on them after the 13% fees and shipping, this one had free shipping on it, so I paid about $3.25 shipping. So my profit on these was about $73. So that's the winner of the week. Yay! And the loser was that heart pin cushion. Even though it was really cute and adorable, I don't have it pulled up here anymore. It is a profit of about $7.35. So I still made money on it and it's still okay and I'm happy with my sales. And that is it for this week's sales. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some benefit out of it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us.